People come and go so quickly here.
No, I don't know many people.
I know too many people. I guess we're both lonely.
Milk was a bad choice.
Are you crying? No. Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
It's the Al Travis Show, and wow, is it already the first Friday of the month? Love having him on. He's Erich Mische. He's the guy who runs S.A.V.E, Suicide Awareness, Voices of Education. Erich, how are you doing, sir?
I am stunning, and I love that one line that maybe your listeners can or can't. It's the Will Ferrell one, which is milk with a bad choice. So.
Yes, they get to hear that. You say you're fine, but you and I, just before we went on, this happens in the green room, talk about allergy issues, how trying to rake the leaves. For me, this is a really bad week. I'm going to be honest and share. You're out mulching leaves, terrible for guys with allergy problems. You got 60 degrees, smoking a cigar on Monday, Tuesday. Great. This is super. And snow on Saturday. This is the week that it crushes my inner soul. I mean, maybe that's over the top, but you get my point. It's like, it's so tough this week.
You know, I chuckle at that because that from you may be over the top, but here's the truth is that season changes, weather changes, lack of sunlight, all of these things play a role in our mental health and how we feel about things, right? I shared with you that when the time zone changes, right, my entire body clock and everything else is out of whack, right? I'm somebody who's usually up at 4 o'clock in the morning anyhow. And now it's like I'm up even earlier than that.
To 3. So why do we do that to ourselves? I don't know what farming kid anymore has got to be out during the sunlight when he can't do it a little later. That whole argument we used to have for daylight savings time, I think is gone. Can we all just get rid of it? Yeah. Just stop doing it to ourselves.
So, but for folks that ask themselves, you know what, why am I feeling bad? Why does, it's natural. It's part of the season change, right? And so we there's a term for that, right?
Seasonal affective,
right? Right. So people should, while we laugh a little bit about it, people should also be mindful that that's a real thing, and the way to deal with that is, make sure you get enough sleep, make sure you get some exercise. You don't have to go run a marathon, but get outside, take a walk, make sure you hydrate. And again, if you're struggling after that, we talk about this all the time on the show, Al, if you still need help, you need somebody to talk to, call or text chat 988. It's free. It's 24 hours a day. It's confidential. But these seasonal changes, we talk a lot in Minnesota how much we love all 4 seasons. Sometimes we don't love all 4 seasons equally, right?
See, but it's funny, the weekend joke about that. I don't want to put this. It affects all of us in some way. Some people just love fall, and the leaf changing. I look at fall, meaning I got to rake leaves. I look fall as the winter's here. I mean, I do look at the negative fall. I love all 4 seasons. I'm a 3-season guy. End of winter, because you got the anticipation of spring and summer. If I could live with that, I would. But what's interesting is you and I can make jokes a little bit about how this really crushes this week, just crushes my soul. We're okay with joking about that or having the conversation about everybody. You wanted to have a conversation for 20 minutes, talk about why we're bringing the clocks forward and back. Everybody, even though it mucks with your innards and you're waking up early and late, we're okay with that. But everything else when it comes to mental health, we're scared of.
Yeah.
It seems so weird to me.
Yeah, and that's natural, and particularly with guys, right? I will tell you that guys, the other piece is, Al, we've talked about this before, there's certain different demographics in this country where this becomes even more severe in terms of the need to talk about it. Rural communities right now, we're seeing significant increases in suicidal ideation and suicide, and so the need to talk about these things, enormously important. Why you having us on this show once a month to talk about these things, incredibly important. It's not normal to not talk about things, right? You got to be able to talk about them.
Well, it's funny to me in America today, it seems like you can talk just about anything now. I mean, there's nothing. The internet's there, but mental health. then we still have this weird taboo on it. And I know you're trying to bust it down, and I appreciate that. I will ask you this, though. I mean, I don't know what we can do about fall. As far as I understand, fall's going to keep showing up every year. Can't fix it. But you, on the other hand, look at stuff you might be able to fix. And I got to be honest, I have no idea what in the world you're talking about when you want to rewrite to confront social media and AI harms. I'm like, this is so over my head. I have no idea what you're talking about. Is this like stopping fall? You just want to stop fall?
No, there's not stopping fall. So I had a piece published this week in a publication called Tech Policy Press. The United States, the last couple of decades, has a document called the National Strategy for Suicide Prevention. It's a document that's intended to be the federal government's approach to helping to address issues associated with suicide. It's an every 10-year document. And so the most recent version of that document came out in 2024. It's a document that as the CEO of S.A.V.E, I signed that document. I will tell you that part of the point in this piece is my regret for having signed that document, because I believe one of the significant shortcomings in that national strategy for suicide prevention is we did not boldly enough confront the dangers of social media and the emerging present, right now, clear and present danger threat of AI, particularly on kids. The national strategy has a lot of good things in it, put together by really smart, dedicated professionals. But I got to be candid with you. The idea that we have 10-year plans for anything doesn't make any sense anymore. And especially when you have technology that changes at the speed of sound, right? Yeah. So my argument is keep the national strategy, but open it up and amend it so that we can take a bolder approach to holding big tech companies accountable for these harms. Let's lean into the need to regulate the growth of AI now so that we're not trying to address the harms later. And then let's discard the notion that we have a 10-year plan for suicide prevention. We should have an ongoing daily, weekly, monthly, yearly plan and approach for how we do it. And we should be able to respond to changing environments in real time.
Well, especially 10-year plans, and we'll go to break, and I'm going to hit you up with something, but the 10-year plan for social media. What social media platform makes it 10 years? There is still Facebook, but Facebook was a kid thing when it started, and then we old people kind of took it over, and now it's not fun for them anymore. Then there are Instagrams, and there's these things don't last 10 years, let alone try to get a handle on them. And as far as AI is concerned, we didn't even sniff AI 10 years ago, and you're going to tell me you know what that thing's going to be like on the other side of 10 years? Wow.
And there's no mention of AI of any substance in the National Strategy for Suicide Prevention. That document was released last year. And in less than a year, Al, right? In less than a year, our entire lives have been consumed by the growth and expansion of AI. We're seeing AI chatbots talking to kids about sex, talking to them about killing themselves. We got to confront this.
I got to go to break. That's one I want to talk about. I don't know if it's Chatbox, Gronk, I don't know which one it was, but there's a mother suing the company now because that machine literally, it sounds like, and they'll get it, allegedly, was talking this kid through the ability to do self-harm. We'll talk about that on the other side. I've got him, Erich Mische, on the Al Travis Show from S.A.V.E, Suicide Awareness, Voices of Education. Any of this hits you wrong, 988. Call, text, whatever you got to do, 988.
You need a friend at the Capitol who knows how to get things done.
And you're in luck, because that's exactly who we are, your friends at the Capitol, and we deliver results.
At Momentum Advocacy, we bring decades of experience in lobbying, public affairs, and crisis communications.
From local nonprofits to national corporations, we help you move policy, manage your media, and make your voice heard.
We're not just seasoned pros, we're essential partners.
Momentum Advocacy, your friends at the Capitol. Learn more at momentum-advocacy.com.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests you try something different. Put out the perfect barbecue flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. Add it to your ribs, dip the meatballs, or drench your wings in the original flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. It isn't too hot or spicy, fruity or smoky or whatever. Grandpa's Barbecue. Available in select stores and online at grandpasbarbecueshop.com.
A as in alligator. L also in alligator. But it's not alligator. It's the Al Travis Show.
And we've got Erich Mische in with S.A.V.E, Suicide Awareness Voices of Education. We just got done talking about AI and the social media and how that's affecting things in your world with S.A.V.E. This chatbot thing, where this young man was talking about it, and parents understand, friends understand, and this thing kept coming back with, no, you're right, they don't care. I was flabbergasted by what I saw. Why in any way, anywhere, anyhow, would any computer company, chatbox, any of these, want to have anything to do with that? I don't understand how the algorithm works, that it'll just go down any lane possible. We can't put a dead end there and say, hey, you start talking like this, the computer just turns off. Your computer friend won't go down this road with you. How is that even possible?
So it's possible, and it's difficult for lay people, me, and other people to understand this. Who does understand it are the people that create these things,
yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
I'll be candid with you. AI, like social media, the genie's out of the bottle. Our interest at S.A.V.E. is not about pushing the genie back in the bottle. It is about getting ahead of these technologies and regulating them and regulating the harm. Those are the things that the creators of these products and platforms have been able to do since they were first created with social media platforms in the late 90s, early 20s. And certainly the folks that are creating new AI models and platforms have the ability to harness the harms and keep them from impacting young people. That they don't want to is the same model, Al, that we've seen from Meta, from all of these, right? They didn't want to make those regulatory changes. They didn't want to rein in their algorithms because ultimately they wanted more profit, right? And the same thing is true today with AI. This young man that you're talking about, a young guy named Adam Raines, who ended up killing himself, right?
Yeah.
The New York Times has a story today about 7 new lawsuits that have been filed against AI companies, in large part because, again, these platforms are creating instances of harm for their users. I use AI all the time. Again, the genie's out of the bottle. Our goal as humanity is to use these tools, to manage them, right? They belong to us, not the other way around. And this notion that, you know what, we're going to have to kind of learn trial by error, and we understand that in the path there's going to be harms. Absolutely not. So my point about reopening the national strategy for suicide prevention is we now know that this terror called AI is upon us, and the greatest victims of it are kids. And as a country and as people involved in suicide prevention and mental health, we have an obligation to call out the harm and call for changes. One of the key places we could do that, and in my piece, I call upon the Secretary of Health and Human Services, Secretary Kennedy, to reopen the National Strategy for Suicide Prevention, which is housed and really kind of created through the Centers for Disease Control. Not to discard it, because there are some good things in that document, but as it relates to social media and AI, it is woefully inadequate.
All right. I don't care if anybody wants to use AI to help write their paper on East African tribal rituals of the 1800s. Never mind to me. But the only way I think, and you tell me if I'm wrong, we stop the craziness with the bad side of this is we need to write rules. The Congress needs to write rules. America needs to write rules that say you will be held financially. You mentioned it. They didn't want to cut their algorithms down because it cut their money out. You say, guess what? We're opening up the floodgates. You can be sued to oblivion if you go down this road. Then things will change. Now, you and I mentioning that in the air might get our computers to start listening to us a little more closely than I care for, but I'm okay with that. Isn't that the only way to stop this? They're going to follow the money. These huge corps don't care.
It's 100%, but it's got to be sufficiently punitive to get their attention. Remember, these are companies. Look, the CEO of Tesla just got awarded a $1 trillion compensation package, right?
Yeah.
So if you punish a company like Tesla $50 million, that's vapor, absolutely vapor. So you've got to be able to hold them accountable at a level of punitive impact that not only gets their attention, but changes behavior. In addition to that, you've got to have regulations that Congress needs to lead with and require these companies to stop targeting kids, to stop creating products that internal documents continue to show time and time again that these companies are aware and have been aware of the harms that their products inflict on kids. I think this idea that we just simply go, you know what, that's the price we have to pay for innovation and progress, absolutely not.
No.
If we want to talk about competing with China with AI, I got to tell you that is not an equal debate. The people in China do not have access to AI like the American people have access to AI. So China doesn't have kids dealing with AI in the same way that America has kids dealing with AI.
Well, you could probably learn a little lesson from China, like I'm going to say that out loud. But you know what? It's like with their TikTok and all the rest of the algorithms, they send out different algorithms to American kids on TikTok than they do on their own. You 100%. Look at TikTok there, and it's all patriotism, it's all this and that. They use this scientific stuff we've figured out, these computers, in a way that is positive for them. I don't think they care much about us. We haven't decided we want to do that. And I get life, liberty, happiness, do what you want, but I think we can all see when it's working poorly and we need to get on this. I am out of time, Mr. Mische, but God, I love having you come in, and thank you for taking on this battle. This is something I don't even know how you start, but you're in there, both feet soaking wet. Go get him, buddy.
Keep getting the fight. Have a better attitude towards the weather change. It'll all get better.
It will change. Absolutely true. Erich Mische with S.A.V.E. Any of this stuff hits you, 988. Go there, text or call 988. I appreciate you, sir. S.A.V.E. Suicide Awareness, Voice of Education. Check them out online.
If you could save a life, would it be worth 60 minutes